Coming up on the Rockbridge Report, a Humane Society investigation points fingers at the Natural Bridge Zoo. We'll explain what the zoo has been accused of.
And a former W&L student filed a lawsuit against the school for expelling him for what he says are false sexual assault accusations. We'll give you the latest on how the university is responding.
Normally quiet Glasgow was a scene of gunfire recently. Find out what police are investigating.
And later, a closer look at changes to glass recycling in the Rockbridge area. All that and more is next on the Rockbridge Report.
Live from the campus of Washington and Lee University with news for Rockbridge County, this is the Rockbridge Report.
Welcome to the Rockbridge Report. I'm Juan Hee Lim.
And I'm Jordan Cohen.
The Natural Bridge Zoo is under fire after a 5-month investigation by the Humane Society revealed mistreatments of its animals. The news release included allegations of physical abuse, severe neglect, and impoverished or unsafe living conditions for the animals. It also documented public handling of underfed tiger cubs as young as 4 weeks old at the risks of the guests. Zoo owner Carl Mogensen denies the accusations. The U.S. Department of Agriculture is now investigating the situation.
Forced responders to close down a stretch of Jackson Avenue yesterday afternoon. Reporter Frank Diaz was there.
It was a thriving city and once home to 1 billion people. But months of fighting between Ukrainian forces and Russian separatists have turned the city of Donetsk into a virtual ghost town. CNN's Nick Patton-Walsh has been in the city and sent this report. Former students claim that he was expelled after being falsely accused of sexual assault. The university has filed a motion to dismiss the case in a federal court in Lynchburg. The university's motion says the student does not have enough evidence to support its lawsuit. The former student claims that he has consensual sex with another student twice, but that she later regretted the experience and claimed rape. The lawsuit alleges that after the young woman heard a presentation in which a university official said regret equals rape. The school official denies ever making the statement. The court has not set a hearing on the motion to dismiss. Police are still investigating a shootout that occurred during an attempted robbery in Glasgow. Jordan Missel has the story.
Usually a quiet town. For a brief moment during the early hours of Friday, January 9th, when police say 4 men attempted to rob a house on Sallings Mountain Road in the vicinity of a large water tower. Police say one resident of the house shot at Darnell Early, Patrick Creer, A. Alan Chappelle, and Gerard Rogers as the 4 men made their way through the property to enter the home. The shootout left both Early and Chappelle wounded, and they were treated for their injuries at Roanoke Memorial Hospital that day. Police captured them and the other suspect. However, Rogers escaped, and a search for him lasted throughout the weekend until he turned himself in on Monday the 12th.
We distributed his information, his picture out on the local news media up there and give it to the local police, and they checked some addresses in different places in Roanoke for us, but we weren't able to arrest him or find him that weekend. But Mr. Rogers did see himself on the news and knew that he was wanted, so he decided to go in and turn himself in Monday morning without incident.
All 4 men have been charged with attempted robbery, conspiracy to commit robbery, and illegal use of a firearm. The police say that the house is very secluded and no witnesses or neighbors heard any of the gunfire. Police are also investigating the possibility that the crime could be related to drugs. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Jordan Missel.
The Rockbridge County Sheriff's Office will be releasing more details about the incident as they continue their investigation. When we come back, your local weather forecast for the weekend.
And a closer look at the changes to glass recycling in the Rockbridge area. And later, what a new Virginia hazing law could mean for local college students.
If you don't fix them, sparks from dragging tow chains could cause a wildfire, and that could be scary.
Smokey.
Only you
9,
can prevent
8,
wildfires.
7, 6, 5.
In the small
4,
town of Elmira,
3,
New York,
2, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 68. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
He's on his way. He doesn't even know that we're here. Is he okay? Please tell me he's okay.
Laura.
Okay, try to call him again.
There's no signal.
Try!
Nothing's working.
Well, just
Everything's down.
This is so bad. He's out there by himself.
Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov.
Welcome back. The city of Lexington stopped collecting glass in its curbside recycling in October. Raymond Monstrowski has the story of a Buena Vista company that is using the decision to create more business.
Buena Vista's Auto Recyclers has been equipped to handle just about all types of recycling since its opening in 2008. But recently, owner Paul Palma has used Lexington's decision to direct more recyclable material to his business.
Yeah, we've had several new customers, so I'm not going to say hundreds, but a lot.
Auto Recyclers was once a vendor for Lexington's curbside recycling program, but Palma said he and the city parted ways after changes within the city's government and public works department. Lexington now sends recycling to Sonico, a packaging company with their recycling center in Fishersville. Lexington Public Works Director Mike Kennedy said there were a couple months when the city sent glass to the county landfill after it changed vendors to Sonico. This was before the city notified residents of the change.
There was a lag period from the time where we were bringing the glass, we started bringing some of the glass to the landfill, but that was a limited amount.
The folks that took the effort thought and were basically misled, hey, this stuff's getting recycled, and that's what all the controversy was.
Rockbridge County and Buena Vista still accept residents' glass in their recycling programs. The municipalities then take the glass to auto recyclers, where it is pulverized and repurposed as landscape mulch. Palma said he has spoken with Lexington's new city manager, Noah Simon, about the city's recycling options.
And we're set to meet this, I believe, at the end of this month. And so hopefully something positive will come out of it.
Kennedy said he is open to other options.
We're not prepared to resume collection of glass, but it has to be the right set of circumstances that make sense economically and that it's practical to be able to carry it out.
Even though Kennedy said the market for glass is limited, Auto Recyclers has found at least one way to repurpose it. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Raymond Monastirski.
Now we'll go to weather anchor Reed Gade for a look at the local weather forecast. Is there any crazy weather happening out there today, Reed?
You know, Jordan, I can't quite say that right now, but it looks like that we might get a little more rain tonight if that's your definition of crazy. Anyway, let's take a look at our daily almanac. So for Rockbridge right now, we can say that the high today is going to be around, or at, 40 degrees, and our low is going to be at 29 degrees. Barometric pressure is holding steady around 30.05, and our wind speed is at 9 miles per hour, so no real worries as far as wind chill are concerned. Humidity is a nice 55%, and as I said, we might get a little more rain today. We're not quite sure of that, but we'll keep you posted. Record high for this day back in 1975 was recorded at 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Kind of like spring in January. Not quite what I want right now, but anyway. Record low was around 4 degrees, and that's downright chilly. I don't know about our viewers, Jordan, but I'm happy we don't have that right now. Let's take a look at our current temperatures across the area. As you can see, we don't have much variation right now. As far as Buena Vista is concerned, it's the same as Lexington, very similar to Stanton. The only real differentiation right now is between Roanoke and Covington,
Difference of 10 degrees right there. That doesn't seem like much at this time of year, but that really accounts as something a lot more chilly down in Covington, or up in Covington, I should say. Let's take a look at our radar for the time. And as you can see, we don't have much right now, but if you look right to the west of Roanoke, you'll see these blue specks on your screen. That, my friends, is snow. It doesn't look like it's gonna be coming our way right now, but anyway, it looks like some people in that area might get a couple of showers. We're not really sure. But down here, you'll see in the Durham area, there is definite precipitation in the form of rain, and you can see even a little bit of ice and snow. Doesn't look like it's gonna be coming into our area. Let's hope that the ice does not come in. And coming up, we've got our 5-day forecast. Things are looking pretty standard right now. Thursday, we have a high, as I said, of 40 degrees and a low of 29 degrees. A little bit of precipitation might still be in store. We're still confirming that right now. Friday, it looks like it's gonna be a little more chilly than usual, but we might have a little bit of, we will definitely have loss of sunlight on that day, and it would be a good day to go outside and do something active if that's your thing, but be sure to bundle up. Saturday, it looks like it's gonna be a great day to go outside, probably the best day of the weekend as far as that's concerned. High of 37, low of 25, perfectly sunny. Then Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday right there. Great day to stay inside. It's gonna be cloudy pretty much all day. No real reason to go outside. Then Monday, we're gonna be getting back into that precipitation with precipitation around 60%, and it looks like we might even have a chance for snow. That's a little too far in the future to confirm yet, but at the very least, we're gonna have some rain. That's all for the weekend at this time. Back to you, Jordan.
Thanks, Reed. I'll be sure to stay inside on Sunday. New leaders on the Lexington City Council say they will work to cut costs and reduce debt in the coming months. Recently appointed city manager Noah Simon says the council will have to be precise and effective this budget season. New member Patrick Ramey agrees with Simon's lean and mean approach. Ramey said he wants to decrease the rising tax burden. Up next, the university is responding to the new Virginia hazing law.
And later, an update on your local sports from Maggie Volsky.
Hi, may I please have an application? Thank you.
Skip the drama. Get your GED.
Okay.
Take that first step towards a better future and sign up for free classes now at yourged.org.
If you store your guns properly, I'll feel safer when I'm playing outside.
Safer when walking home.
I won't have to tell so many family members. I'm sorry.
I won't hear as many scary stories.
And I won't have to tell my kids. This isn't a drill.
Please.
Please, do it for us.
Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always, lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
No more pencils, no more books, no more teachers, dirty looks.
School's out!
For summer.
What this place needed was better graduation rates. So we worked with schools like Henry Ford High, and now they're up 18%.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
To help us do more good this year, go to unitedway.org because great things happen when we live united.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
Welcome back. The Virginia State Assembly enacted a new model hazing policy that could spell trouble for local universities. The policy lists 23 acts considered hazing. Virginia law requires schools with state funding to report any hazing violations that result in bodily harm, whether or not the victim participated voluntarily. Fraternities at Washington and Lee are just now addressing the new ruling because new member education, or pledgeship, began last week.
It's the first day in the murder trial involving former NFL player Aaron Hernandez. CNN has the story.
The legal team and
One by one, the legal team and family of former New England Patriots player Aaron Hernandez filed into a Massachusetts courtroom Thursday. Hernandez is accused in the 2013 killing of Odin Lloyd, a semi-pro football player who was dating the sister of Hernandez's fiancée. Opening statements were delayed because of this week's blizzard. 13 women and 5 men make up the jury. 6 of them are alternates. Prosecutors have their work cut out for them after defense attorneys won some pretrial motions. The judge will block any mention that Hernandez was indicted for 2 other murders in Boston. And the judge ordered that the jury won't hear about a text message the victim sent his sister just minutes before he was killed, saying, quote, "You saw who I'm with. NFL, just so you know."
And you know, nothing in life or nature can be sliced so thin it doesn't have 2 sides. I mean, the defense has a good case. No motive, no eyewitnesses. There's absolutely no forensic evidence, they're saying, and there's no inculpatory statements.
Prosecutors plan to argue that the murder was a joint venture involving several people. Under Massachusetts law, they don't have to prove who pulled the trigger, just that Hernandez was involved. Reporting in Fall River, Massachusetts, I'm Ryan Nobles.
Basketball season is in full swing, and sports anchor Maggie Folsky is here with the latest from our local teams. How's everyone's season shaping up, Maggie?
Well, Jordan, we're really excited here at WNL because both of our basketball teams won this week. On Tuesday, the women's team beat Roanoke in overtime, 76-66, while the men beat Hampton-Sydney at home, 77-67 on Wednesday. VMI has been quiet with sports this week, but the men's basketball team is playing tonight against Western Carolina at 7 p.m. In the Capital Athletic Conference, SVU men's basketball had their first conference win of the season and their first over Christopher Newport University in school history with a 60-59 overtime victory against the visiting captains Wednesday night. Unfortunately, the women's team suffered a different fate, losing 72-52. This weekend, both teams will go up against Salisbury at their home turf, starting with the women at 1 p.m. In high school sports, the Perry McClure Fighting Blues have a few games this weekend, with girls varsity basketball heading to Craig County High School for a game at 7 p.m. The boys are headed to face the Chargers at Bath County tomorrow at 7 p.m. The Rockbridge County Wildcats have had a long week with both boys and girls varsity basketball losing games. The girls varsity team beat Covington High School last night 61-38, while the boys are playing at James River tonight at 7 p.m. Both teams have games against Lord Botetourt tomorrow with boys at home and the girls away. That's all for sports. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Maggie. Let's hope it's a slam dunk with local sports. Hammond-Sydney College has canceled all classes and activities due this weekend because of an outbreak of gastrointestinal illnesses. Classes will resume Monday, February 2nd.
Coming up next, a look at the new exhibit bringing Lexington tourists to the Reeves Center.
Jimmy can't sing, and Tommy can't dance, so we're gonna put some ants in their pants. Aww.
Kids will spend 22 minutes watching us, the super duper party troopers, singing about ants in their pants.
Isn't that funny? Ants in their pants, they've got ants in their pants, they've got ants in their pants.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Every budget, so don't accept defeat.
Now you can get covered and still
buy me treats.
You take care of your pets. Now it's their turn to take care of you. Visit getcoveredamerica.org to learn about your health insurance options.
Welcome back. Rockbridge County will provide water and wastewater services to the new housing development at Washington and Lee, despite a request from the City of Lexington to do so. Almost all of the new Upper Division housing will sit within county limits, but other W&L buildings on county property receive these services from the city. The county's decision did not slow down the building process. Executive Director of University Facilities, John Hogager, says construction is still expected to begin in early March.
For many tourists, the Lee Chapel Museum is their first stop in Lexington. However, this popular attraction is closed for renovations. Not to worry though, while it remains closed, the museum has placed several of its items on display in Watson Pavilion, a lesser-known building at Washington and Lee University. Our religion and culture reporter, Megan Latella, has more on the story.
The Watson Pavilion is an extension of its neighboring building, the Reeves Center. The Reeves is home to the fourth largest collection of Chinese porcelain in the United States. W&L alumnus Euclid Reeves and his wife, Louise, donated the collection in 1967. The Watson is home to an authentic Japanese tea room and 2 rotating exhibits. These days, it also has on display some primary pieces from the Lee Chapel Museum. The pavilion has set up a mini gift shop as well, selling merchandise typically found at the museum's gift shop. Last week, an open house event was held at the Reeves Center in Watson Pavilion to encourage guests to explore their displays. Moving forward, the center's curators and employees of the Lexington Visitor Center hope that more tourists will discover the Reeves and Watson's hidden treasures when they come to observe the Lee Chapel artifacts.
We know that people are interested in the Civil War history, and knowing that Lee Chapel was going to be closed, we thought it was important for them to come and actually see the collection so they could let people know more about it.
In addition to its vast collection of porcelain, the Reeves Center also has a number of Louise Herreshoff Reeves's paintings on display. In the past, people could only visit the Reeves and the Watson by appointment. Now, both buildings will be open to the public Monday through Saturday from 9 to 4.
As Lee Chapel and the Reeves Center have combined together, that we've been able to solve some of the staffing problems that were keeping the buildings so that they were not open on a regular basis. So tonight's open house is to welcome the university community and the Lexington community to the Reeves Center and the Watson, and let them know that we are now open for regular hours.
For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Megan Latella.
That's all for today's Rockbridge Report.
Check us out at rockbridgereport.washingtonandlee.net. Have a great weekend.